Are you attracted with someone? Or do you love this person? What is attraction? What makes you attractive? Good day, everyone. This is Ma'am Neri once again and welcome to our personal development session. For today's video, we shall deal with Module 17, Teenage Relationships, including the acceptable and unacceptable expressions of attractions. Are you excited? If yes, stay attentive, learn and watch until the end. The content of this lesson is about teenage relationships, including the acceptable and unacceptable expressions of attractions. After going through this module, you are expected to 1. Understand teenage relationships, including the acceptable and unacceptable expressions of attractions, which includes 1.1. Define relationships, and 1.2. Enumerate acceptable and unacceptable expressions of attractions. Before we proceed with our discussion, let us first test your prior knowledge. Get your journal or a sheet of paper and answer the following. There are two sets. Set A will be true or false, and set B is yes or no. Let us begin with set A. Write true if the statement is correct and write false if the statement is not correct. Write your answer on a separate sheet of paper. 1. Attraction is a force that unites people. 2. Affection is one of human beings' greatest emotions. 3. Infatuation is love without engagement or intimacy. 4. People differ in what they consider attractive. 5. Relationship is a one-way traffic. 6. Personal relationship is a form of relationship closely linked to a person and which can only be important to that person. 7. Affection is one of the qualities in a relationship that everyone looks for. 8. According to research study, people differ in what they consider attractive, and cultural influences on attractiveness. 9. Ladies with broad shoulders and a small waist are not attractive to men. And 10. Intimacy is a sharing of details, emotions, and intimate thoughts. Set B. Write yes if the statement is correct and write no if the statement is not correct. 11. Filipino culture is bound to believe that a decent display of someone's feeling is also a must, to be accepted by society. 12. McCoy has leadership and work skills but does not have good looks. Is it attractive to ladies? 13. Magdalene dictates to her boyfriend how to dress up and what to eat. Is this a controlling issue? 14. Is love one of the three components of a healthy relationship according to Sternberg? And 15. Is cheating one of the unacceptable issues in any relationship? It is said that every kind of relationship is a two-way traffic, which means that all parties should learn how to give and take. There are different forms of relationships and each of us has a clear description for each of these forms. We certainly have our own ways of creating and improving these relationships. Let us try to define each one of them. In this lesson, you will be able to understand what personal relationship really is. Personal relationship is practically the kind of relationship that we have with our families, friends, and partners in life. This definition also applies to our relationship with those people who are significant to us. Motivational activity. Picture analysis. 1. Do you remember someone who has caused you to lose self-control? In building personal relationships, you might encounter difficulties or conflicts that might lead you to anger or frustration. Describe the pictures below and write your reaction, observation on the opposite side of the box. Process questions. 1. What are the pictures all about? 2. What did you feel after you wrote your reaction, observation to the images? 3. Have you experienced this kind of scenario before? If so, how did you deal with it? If not yet, how will you react to this kind of situation? Now, let me read to you the poem by Jessica V. Durante, and answer the questions that follow. Purpose of Affection by Jessica V. Durante. Loving is sharing life with each other. In order to create special plans for only two. Standing side by side, then smiling with pride. Dreams, one by one, all come true. To love is to help and nurture. With smiles and honest words of advice. In order to take the time to share. To attend to and to feel for. In tender, sweet and gentle shapes. Love is about getting someone special. One you can always count on. Being together over the years. Sharing both happiness and sadness. As a partner and a friend. Love is the creation of memories that are special. Of the times you cherish pondering. and all the amazing things relationship sharing promises. Love is the greatest of all. I discovered the full meaning of giving and of providing, making all of my dreams come true. I have found the true essence of affection by just being with you and loving you. Process questions. 1. After reading the poem, what did you feel? Why? 2. What does the writer want to tell about the line, "Love is the greatest of all"? 3. How would you express affection to your loved ones if you were the author? You may write a poem of your own. Affection is one of human beings' greatest emotions. There is a lot of passion, but more are conveyed in an intimate partnership with a compatible partner. Romantic attachments are one of the most important aspects of life for these people, and a source of tremendous fulfillment. However, the will to create a human link seems innate, which develops our ability to build a healthy and loving relationship. Some suggest that early childhood begins to develop the capacity to create a healthy relationship with a nanny who regularly satisfies the child's food, treatment, comfort, protection, stimulation, and social interaction needs. Such partnerships are not destinies, but are hypothesized to establish deeply embedded relationship patterns with others. The end of a relationship is, however, also a source of significant mental trauma. So, what is personal relationship? Personal relationship is a form of relationship closely linked to a person and which can only be important to that person. Relationships are not static. They are continually evolving, and to fully enjoy and benefit from them we need skills, information, inspiration, practice, and social support. In our model there are 3 kinds of personal relationships: family, friends, and partnerships. Family. The concept of family is an essential component in any discussion of relationships, but this varies greatly from person to person. The Bureau of the Census defines family as 2 or more persons who are related by birth, marriage, or adoption and who live together as one household. But many people have family they don't live with or to whom they are not bonded by love, and the roles of family vary across cultures as well as throughout your own lifetime. Some typical characteristics of a family are support, mutual trust, regular interactions, shared beliefs and values, security, and a sense of community. Although the concept of family is one of the oldest in human nature, its definition has evolved considerably in the past 3 decades. Non-traditional family structures and roles can provide as much comfort and support as traditional forms. Friends. A friendship can be thought of as a close tie between 2 people that is often built upon mutual experiences, shared interests, proximity, and emotional bonding. Friends are able to turn to each other in times of need. Nicholas Christakis and James Fowler, social network researchers and authors of the book Connected, find that the average person has about 6 close ties, though some have more, and many have only 1 or none. Note that online friends don't count toward close ties. Research indicates that a large online network isn't nearly as powerful as having a few close, real-life friends. Partnerships. Romantic partnerships, including marriage, are close relationships formed between 2 people that are built upon affection, trust, intimacy, and romantic love. We usually experience this kind of relationship with only one person at a time. Here are kinds of personal relationship. First, privacy and intimacy, which are 2 attributes describing personal relationships and level of commitment to another person or persons. Second, impersonal relationship or commitment to an organization like a business entity, a principle or purpose. And third, attraction, which is a force that unites people and can grow into an attachment which eventually leads to commitment. Healthy relationships are a vital component of health and well-being. There is compelling evidence that strong relationships contribute to a long, healthy, and happy life. Conversely, the health risks from being alone or isolated in one's life are comparable to the risks associated with cigarette smoking, blood pressure, and obesity. Research shows that healthy relationships can help you live longer. A review of 148 studies found that people with strong social relationships are 50% less likely to die prematurely. Similarly, Dan Buettner's Blue Zones research calculates that committing to a life partner can add 3 years to life expectancy. Researchers Nicholas Christakis and James Fowler have found that men's life expectancy benefits from marriage more than women's do. Next, it can help you in dealing with stress. The support offered by a caring friend can provide a buffer against the effects of stress. In a study of over 100 people, researchers found that people who completed a stressful task experienced a faster recovery when they were reminded of people with whom they had strong relationships. Those who were reminded of stressful relationships, on the other hand, experienced even more stress and higher blood pressure. It also makes you healthier. According to research by psychologist Sheldon Cohen, college students who reported having strong relationships were half as likely to catch a common cold when exposed to the virus. In addition, 2012 International Gallup poll found that people who feel they have friends and family to count on are generally more satisfied with their personal health than people who feel isolated. And hanging out with healthy people increases your own likelihood of health. In their book Connected, Christakis and Fowler show that non-obese people are more likely to have non-obese friends because healthy habits spread through our social networks. And lastly, you will feel richer. A survey by the National Bureau of Economic Research of 5,000 people found that doubling your group of friends has the same effect on your well-being as a 50% increase in income. On the other hand, low social support is linked to a number of health consequences, such as depression. Loneliness has long been commonly associated with depression, and now research is backing this correlation up. A 2012 study of breast cancer patients found that those with fewer satisfying social connections experienced higher levels of depression, pain, and fatigue. Then, decreased immune function. The authors of the same study also found a correlation between loneliness and immune system dysregulation, meaning that a lack of social connections can increase your chances of becoming sick. And, of course, higher blood pressure. University of Chicago researchers who studied a group of 229 adults over 5 years found that loneliness could predict higher blood pressure even years later, indicating that the effects of isolation have long-lasting consequences. According to psychiatrists Jacqueline Olds and Richard Schwartz, social alienation is an inevitable result of contemporary society's preoccupation with materialism and frantic busyness. Their decades of research support the idea that a lack of relationships can cause multiple problems with physical, emotional, and spiritual health. The research is clear and devastating. Isolation is fatal. Everybody knows when they go into a room packed with friendly faces, and while they seem open and able to speak, there is only one face standing out from the crowd. There may be a lot of people in the room who are physically attractive, but you do not seem to keep your eyes away from one person. Here are some of the attractions you need to remember. 1. Physical attraction is based on instinct. Most people would claim that they are attracted to someone after a few seconds of their first encounter. April Mazzini, who also gives ABC Entertainment News relation advice, wrote books like Date Out of Your League, suggests that females are naturally attracted to men who exude affection and passion and seem to live a fascinating life. Heterosexuals tend to be attracted to men with traditionally masculine features including muscle body, square jaw, straight nose, and narrow eyes, physically or emotionally. These physical properties often include higher testosterone levels, common among alpha males. Alpha males display a particular personality trait, including directness, determination, and power. 2. Physical attraction does not necessarily lead to a good relationship. The first physical attraction is a very poor indicator, according to Dr. Margaret Paul, an expert in relationship who has a PhD in psychology, about how well a relationship performs that can lead to a feeling about abandonment. 3. Platonic attraction is important. You also consider how trustworthy he or she seems to be and how loving he or she is, in addition to how physically attractive your future partner is. Is he calling, for instance, when he says he's going? Does she answer the phone if you call her? Is he going to find little things and compliments? When you talk about movies or sports you like, does she even listen to you? The building block of deep emotional links are also common interests. Having a common family history may also be helpful. Aaron Ben-Ziev, a professor of philosophy and author of The Subtlety of Emotion, suggests that your relationship may benefit from physical proximity, living close to your interest in love. Believe it or not, it seems that simply living in the same city or neighborhood makes people experience more platonic attractions with each other. 4. The unattainable is attractive. We just want something that cannot be achieved. According to Helen Fisher, PhD, professor at the Rutgers Department of Anthropology and chief scientific advisor to the chemistry online dating service, it will still be attractive to someone we consider out of the league because they are ideal. As a way to force ourselves to strengthen both our body appearance and our social status, we could be producing these frustrating crushes. At the same time, loving yourself and being patient is the most important thing, because it is impossible to genuinely love someone else without loving yourself first. Proximity and similarity contribute to relationship building, and reciprocity and self-disclosure are critical for sustaining relationships. Yet, what characteristics do we find attractive about a person? We don't shape relationships with someone who lives or works in our vicinity, so how do we determine which particular individuals we want as friends and partners? Researchers have documented several characteristics which are attractive to humans. People differ in what they consider attractive, and cultural influences on attractiveness. Research indicates that some commonly attractive characteristics in women include wide eyes, high cheekbones, a thin jawline, a slim build, Buss 1989, and a lower waist-to-hip ratio, Singh 1993. Likewise, attractive features of men include being tall, having broad shoulders, and a small waist. Both men and women with high levels of facial and body symmetry are commonly seen as more attractive than asymmetric individuals. In future female partners, social characteristics that people consider attractive include comfort, empathy, and social skills. In males, the desirable characteristics include competence, leadership abilities, and work skills. While humans want physically attractive mates, this doesn't mean we are looking for the most attractive person possible. In fact, this observation has led some to propose what is known as the matching hypothesis that asserts that people tend to choose someone they see as their equal in physical attractiveness and social desirability. People weigh the attractiveness of a potential partner against the probability of succeeding with that individual. If you believe you are particularly unattractive, even if you are not, you would probably be looking for partners that are fairly unattractive. Typically, we love the people we make relationships with, but the sort of love we have for our families, friends, and lovers is special. Robert Sternberg, 1986, suggested that love has three components: affection, passion, and dedication. These three components form a triangle that distinguishes many forms of love. This is known as the triangular love theory by Sternberg. Love is sometimes characterized by intimacy, which is the sharing of details and emotions and intimate thoughts. Sternberg, 1986, states that a healthy relationship will have all three components of love, intimacy, passion, and commitment, which are described as consummate love. At different stages of life, however, different aspects of love may prevail more. Other types of love involve affection, described as intimacy, but not passion or commitment. Infatuation is love without engagement or intimacy. Empty love means engagement without passion or intimacy. Companionate love, characteristic of close friendships and family relationships, is affection and loyalty, but there is no passion. Passion and affection describe romantic love, but no engagement. Lastly, fatuous love is characterized by passion and devotion but no intimacy, such as a long-term sexual love affair. Let us now go to understanding the acceptable and unacceptable means of expressing attractions toward the opposite sex. You have understood well the essential traits of a good relationship. This time, allow yourself to open your mind to see the difference between acceptable and unacceptable means of expressing attractions towards the opposite sex. In this way, you will also have a chance to unlearn the bad practices that you have in showing how attracted you are to someone. Filipino society has set standards for terribly unacceptable way to demonstrate someone's attractions against those who are practically acceptable. Perhaps you are asking why it is important to understand and realize these things. Filipino culture is bound to believe that a decent display of someone's feeling is also a must to be accepted by society. It is a major disappointment that anyone who fails to follow this standard will be classified as poorly educated by society or the community, or how one's parents failed at parenting. Because of the Filipinos' culture of decency, the Republic of the Philippines seriously believed that the issues of people's means of expressing attractions to the opposite sex or gender can be legally addressed. The Republic Act, RA. 11313, otherwise known as the Safe Space Act, intentionally prohibits indecent and unlawful acts of expression. This law broadens the scope of the RA 7877 or the Anti-Harassment Act of 1995. This law recognizes that sexual harassment occurs in the workplace, education, and training environments, and penalizes persons who have authority, influence, and moral status in those institutions who commit prohibited acts of sexual harassment. While the Safe Space Act addresses these gaps in our legal framework by recognizing that sexual harassment can be committed between peers. A good example of this are a subordinate to a superior, a student to a teacher, or a trainee to a trainer. As you are happy to see and spend time with your partner, you know that you are in a stable relationship. No partnership is ever perfect, and when basic conflicts arise, causing tension with others, you will certainly feel that the relationship is unstable for a moment. There are many factors that lead to the growth and maintenance of healthy and acceptable relationships, including mutual respect. Will he or she get to know how smart and why you are? Will your partner listen to you when you say you are not happy doing something and then instantly back off? Respect in a partnership means that each partner trusts and respects the weaknesses of each other and will never question them. 2. Trust. You talk to a classmate, and your partner wonders about, is he going to lose his cool, or is he going to keep walking, because he knows you are never going to cheat on him? Often it's normal to get a little jealous. Jealousy is a common feeling. But how a person reacts when he feels jealous is what matters. Though you trust each other, there is no guarantee that you will have a healthy relationship. 3. Honesty. This one goes hand in hand with confidence, because when one of you is not honest, it is difficult to trust another. Have you ever caught your partner in a total lie? Like when she told you that she or he was occupied with homework, but it turned out that she or he was talking to friends. You're going to have a lot of difficulty believing the next time she or he says she or he has to work, and the trust will be on dangerous foundations. 4. Support. It is not only in difficult times that you should be supported by your partner. Usually, when the whole world is falling apart, we thought that this is the only time we need support from others. Even in your best, you still need support, and when time gets tough, your significant other should still be there. For instance, your partner should be there when you find out that your parents are breaking apart, and he or she should also rejoice with you when you get a great score. 5. Fairness, equality. You need to have a give and a take in your relationship. Do you take turns deciding what kind of food to eat? Are you going out with your friends as a partner as much as you stay out with your friends? If it is not a fair balance, you will know. When a relationship transforms into a power struggle, with one party trying to get his or her way all the time, changes get really fast. 6. Separate identities. In a stable relationship, everybody has to make compromises. But that does not mean you should have the feeling that you are losing yourself. You both had your own lives when you started out, families, friends, interests, hobbies, etc., and that should not change. You should not pretend to like something that you do not like, or give up seeing your mates, or give up something that you love. And you should also feel free to build new abilities or interests, make new friends, and move forward. And 7. Good communication. Are you going to speak to each other and share the feelings that matter to you? Don't keep your emotions locked up because you are afraid your partner does not even need to hear about it. And if you need some time to think about something before you are ready to talk about it, you will be provided some space by the right person to do that. Every relationship has its ups and downs, and we all have to compromise a little to make them work. But if your partner consistently does the following, it might be time to think twice. Here are 10 things that are unacceptable in any relationship. 1. Cheating. If you are in a committed, monogamous relationship, cheating should be out of the question. Many people will say infidelity is a deal breaker. However, others will decide to stay with their partners after an affair, and, under the right circumstances, it is possible to heal the relationship. If you do decide to maintain the relationship, your partner says they will never cheat again, and they do, it's likely that they will continue to break your trust. 2. Putting you down. No one has the right to make you feel bad about yourself. Whether blatant or subtle, if your partner criticizes your looks, your hair, your laugh, your intelligence, or anything, they're not worth your time. 3. Not supporting your dreams. In a relationship, you should be each other's cheerleaders. When you feel discouraged, they should tell you all the things you're doing right. If you feel like running out of options, they should ask what he can do to help you reach your goals. 4. Controlling. You should have a life outside of your relationship, away from your partner. It is not their place to tell you who you can see, when you can see them, what to eat, or how to dress. This controlling behavior can be a warning sign of physical abuse and should be taken seriously. 5. Lack of communication. You will never be able to grow together if you don't discuss your wants and needs. You both need to feel comfortable openly expressing your feelings, good and bad, otherwise you might begin to resent each other. 6. Unnecessary sacrifices. Compromise is a must in a relationship, but if you feel like you're giving up everything, while your significant other is sacrificing nothing, something's not right. Have you heard someone say they got rid of their pet because their fiancé didn't like cats? Or quit their job, left their family, and moved to other places for someone who wouldn't do the same for them? These should serve as your red flags or warning signs that there is something wrong in how your significant other treats you. 7. Unreliability. When your cell phone is not working, you need advice, or you've just had a bad day and need a hug, do they come to your aid? If they're not there for you when you need them the most, think twice. Why are you with them? 8. Forgetting the memorable day. There's a stereotype that men always forget anniversaries and birthdays. Whether that's true or not, it's not okay. It's normal for something to slip our minds, but your man, or woman, should remember those little things that are important to you. 9. Self-destruction. Sometimes we fall for people who are in rough situations. Though it can be difficult, it's important to be there for your loved ones during these times and encourage them to seek help if necessary. However, if they are engaging in destructive behavior that is negatively affecting you, and they refuse to seek help, you might want to consider leaving. There is only so much you can do, and it is not your fault that they are not willing to help themselves. 10. Not caring about friends and family. When you want to build a life with someone, you have to accept every part of them, including the people they care about. Your partner not making an effort to get to know your loved ones can cause a major strain on your relationship. The decision of whether or not to have sex is up to you, and you alone. Therefore, don't be afraid to say no if that's how you feel. Having sex for the first time can be a huge emotional event. There are many questions and feelings that you may want to sort out before you actually get in the heat of the moment. Ask yourself, am I really ready to have sex? How am I going to feel after I have sex? Am I doing this for the right reasons? How do I plan to protect myself, my partner from sexually transmitted infections or pregnancy? How am I going to feel about my partner afterwards? The best way to prepare for the decision to have sex is to become comfortable with communicating about your needs. If you don't feel right about something, say so. Anyone who challenges your choices about whether or not to have sex is not giving you the respect that you deserve. Pay attention to your feelings, and don't let anyone make you feel guilty for making decisions that are right for you. There are countless non-sexual ways to show someone you love them. You can show a person you care for them by spending time with them. Go to the movies, or just hang out and talk. If you are with someone you really like, then anything can be fun. There are also ways to feel physically close without having sex. These include everything from kissing and hugging to touching each other. Just remember that if you're not careful, these activities can lead to sex. Plan beforehand just how far you want to go, and stick to your limits. It can be difficult to say no and mean it when things get hot and heavy. Talking to your parents. You probably think that talking to your parents about sex is impossible. You're not alone. 83% of kids your age are afraid to ask their parents about sex. Yet 51% of teens actually do. So, kids are not only talking to their parents about sex, they're also benefiting from conversations they were afraid to have in the first place. Lucky them, right? The truth is that most parents want to help their kids make smart decisions about sex. They know it's vital for teens to have accurate information and sound advice to aid the decision-making process. If you think your parents are really nervous about raising the issue, you're probably right. Many parents think that if they acknowledge their child as a sexual being, their son or daughter will think it's okay to go ahead and have sex. They might also be afraid that if they don't have all the answers, they'll look foolish. Some parents have said they're afraid kids will ask personal questions about their sex life, questions they won't want to answer. Think about all the adults in your life. Is there someone else's parent? A teacher or guidance counselor, coach, aunt, uncle, neighbor, or another adult you instinctively trust. That's the person who will give you straight answers. Your friends really don't know any more than you do, no matter what they say about their sexual experience. The internet, and other media, can't give you everything you need. Only people who know you can do that. Peer pressure is always tough to deal with, especially when it comes to sex. Some teenagers decide to have sexual relationships because their friends think sex is cool. Others feel pressured by the person they are dating. Still others find it easier to give in and have sex than to try to explain why not. Some teenagers get caught up in the romantic feelings and believe having sex is the best way they can prove their love. But remember, not every person your age is having sex. Even if sometimes it feels like everyone is doing it, it is important to realize that this is not true. People often talk about sex in a casual manner, but this doesn't mean they are actually having sex. Knowing how you feel about yourself is the first big step in handling peer pressure. It's okay to want to enjoy your teen years and all the fun times that can be had. It's okay to respect yourself enough to say, "No, I'm not ready to have sex." The basic rights in a relationship are the following. 1. The right to emotional support. 2. The right to be heard by the other and to respond. 3. The right to have your own point of view, even if this differs from your partner's. 4. The right to have your feelings and experiences acknowledged as real. 5. The right to live free from accusation and blame. 6. The right to live free from criticism and judgment. 7. The right to live free from emotional and physical threat. 8. The right to live free from angry outbursts and rage. And 9. The right to be respectfully asked, rather than ordered. In addition to these basic relationships rights, consider how you can develop patience, honesty, kindness, and respect. In addition to these basic relationships rights, consider how you can develop patience, honesty, kindness, and respect. Patience. Patience is essential to a healthy relationship. There are times when others will respond to us in a way that is disappointing. When this occurs, it's important to communicate our disappointment, but also to give the other person space. Be willing to give the person some time to reflect, indicating that you are ready to talk when they are ready. If the person is never ready to discuss the situation, you may need professional help to resolve the issue, or ask yourself whether or not you want to continue the relationship. Honesty. Honesty is another essential quality in healthy relationships. To build honesty in a relationship, you should communicate your feelings openly, and expect the other person to do the same. Over time, this builds trust. Kindness. Kindness is extremely important to maintaining healthy relationships. You need to be considerate of others' feelings and other people need to be considerate of yours. Be kind when you communicate. Kindness will nurture your relationships. Note that being kind does not necessarily mean being nice. Respect. Respect is a cornerstone of all healthy relationships. If you don't have respect for another person, it will have a negative impact on all of your interactions. Think of a time when you encountered someone who didn't respect you. How did it feel? What are some ways that you show respect to others? Here is another activity: situational analysis. Identify whether the following pictures are acceptable or unacceptable expressions of attraction. Acceptable expression of attractions is beneficial for both parties, and unacceptable expressions of attraction displease each individual in a relationship or even the people in the society. Process questions. 1. How did you categorize the acceptable and unacceptable teenage relationships? 2. If you were in that situation, how would you react? 3. Why do we need to understand the acceptable and unacceptable teenage relationships? Let me now test what you have learned so far from our discussion. Again, we have two sets of questions coming from Test 1, Identification, and Test 2, for the modified true or false. Test I. Fill in the blanks. Fill in the blanks with the correct answer to complete each sentence. Write your answer on a separate sheet. 1. Blank underscore is practically the kind of relationship that we have with our families, friends, and partners in life. 2. Blank is a force that unites people and can grow into an attachment which eventually leads to commitment. 3. Blank commitment to an organization like a business entity, a principle, or purpose. 4. Blank means engagement without passion or intimacy. 5. People differ in what they consider attractive and cultural influences on blank. Test 2. Modified true or false. Write true if the statement is correct. If the statement is not correct, change the underlined word or words with the correct answer. Write your answer in a separate sheet of paper. 1. Physical attraction is based on knowledge. 2. Physical attraction does not necessarily lead to a good relationship. 3. Korean culture is bound to believe that a decent display of someone's feeling is also a must to be accepted by society. 4. Some of the factors contributing to the formation and sustainability of healthy and acceptable relationships are mutual respect, honesty, and good communication. 5. Unhealthy relationship will have all three components of love: intimacy, passion, and commitment, which are described as consummate love. Let us answer application. Have you experienced, or have you known someone who has experienced the following unacceptable expression of attractions? Write your answer on a separate sheet of paper. A. Cheating. B. Controlling. C. Unreliability. And D. Lack of communication skills. Now, answer table. The situation is written on the first column. On the second column, write the reasons why these unacceptable expressions of attractions happen. On the third column, write the possible effects of this kind of relationship. And on the fourth column, write your reactions, and your advice on the fifth column. Assessment. A. Write true if the statement is correct and write false if the statement is not correct. Write your answer on a separate sheet of paper. 1. Attraction is a force that unites people. 2. Alpha males show a specific set of personality-like trait, including directness, dedication, wit strength. 3. Companions can go to one another in the midst of hardship. 4. People differ in what they consider attractive. 5. Relationship is a one-way traffic. 6. Many women claim that when they are looking for a long-term relationship partner, they are simply looking for the opposite of an alpha male. 7. Affection is one of the qualities in a relationship that everyone looks for. 8. According to research study, people differ in what they consider attractive, and cultural influences on attractiveness. 9. Ladies with broad shoulders and a small waist are not attractive to men. 10. Intimacy is a sharing of details, emotions, and intimate thoughts. B. Write yes if the statement is correct, and write no if the statement is not correct. 11. Filipino culture is bound to believe that a decent display of someone's feeling is also a must, to be accepted by society. 12. Hill has leadership and work skills but does not have good looks. Is it attractive to ladies? 13. Megan dictates to her boyfriend how to dress up and what to eat. Is this a controlling issue? 14. Is love one of the three components of a healthy relationship according to Sternberg? 15. Is cheating unacceptable in any relationship? Additional activity. Relationship goals. 1. List your expectations for your current or future relationship goals. 2. It could be in the form of a song, a quote, a Hugo, or pick-up line. Thank you very much, my dear students, for listening. We are now done with Module 17. I hope you have many takeaways on this lesson. By the way, here is the answer keys for the pre-test and post-test posted earlier. Make sure you have honestly corrected your answers. A heartfelt appreciation to the development team of the module. Once again, thank you so much. This is Ma'am Neri, and see you on another interesting module, Module 18, Personal Relationship, Attraction, Love, and Commitment. Please don't miss it. God bless you all.